Hey guys, so we got this before video. Just trying to get a little bit of footage of everything before we take it out. As you can see, alright boys, so the first thing we're going to do is get this pan off. So now that we got it removed, we're going to open the water from the radiator and we're going to open the oil. We're going to drain the oil. After that, we want to remove the exhaust. So after that, we're going to remove these two bolts. There's a bracket here and then just a couple rubber bushings all around, and the exhaust is ready to drop. So the exhaust has been removed. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to open the intercooler so we can get access to the radiator. Charge pipe from the turbo to the intake. The RSF 5-inch one. Dujo had previously upgraded to this for stage 2 plus. We have easy access to the radiator. So we're draining the water right now. Next up, we're going to take the bumper off. This bolt's back here. There's a couple down there and there's a couple at the top. So guys, we got the bumper off. Now that the bumper's off, we're going to start taking out the wiring. We'll take off the wheels, disconnect the axles, separate the flywheel from the trans. Well, actually in this case we won't be able to because the engine's seized, so we can't even turn her over. To get to the other 8 bolts, only 2 of them that are on the bottom we can open. So I think we're going to be pulling this trans and engine out as one piece. So guys, after we remove the bumper, we're going to want to take off this front bar, collision bar, and we got the heat shielding off, so we're just going to unbolt the diff. We're going to get the bushings off, we're going to drop her down, take out the axles.
Transmission's longer to make.
The only pains are these 2 bushings. They're threaded both ways, so you gotta make sure you open the nut and unthread it from the back, and another bushing up top here. It's only 3 holding her up. And then these 3 bolts holding the drive shaft. It's pulled out by that centering dowel. And that's it. Pretty easy. So guys, forgot to mention, before we started up on removing the wiring, we just unhooked the suspension. So we got the tie rod out, we got the lower control arms out. We also disconnected this sway bar link from the stabilizer bar. And over here you have a level sensor. You're gonna wanna disconnect that too. So right now, as of now, she's basically fully ready to come out. All it needs is just all the wiring disconnected and the subframe can just drop out. Everything's ready. All right guys, so next thing we're gonna wanna do, take off the charge pipe, blow off valve, disconnect the vacuum hose, and I already got off the dual cone intakes. So yeah, so before I get any deeper, you're gonna wanna take off all this plastic right here. All of these, you're gonna wanna take off your grounds and your battery terminals, your positives, and you're just gonna basically wanna get all this wiring out the way. When you're taking off the charge pipe, quick FYI, the mass airflow sensor is right on the very bottom, so when you take it off, you might yank her and you might pull her. Try not to damage that, but yeah, pretty straightforward. So this saved us a lot of money. So basically in the automatic 335i's, they have the same brake reservoir. The brake oil reservoir is the manual ones. So this little nipple is plugged off on the automatic ones. The manual ones, it's not. So all we gotta do is cut this off, attach the hose, and saved us 500 bucks from BMW, guys. Hey guys, so quick update. We got a big plastic piece over here out. We got cabin air filters out just behind it. We're just gonna need to get this last piece off, and for that we gotta disconnect the wiper blades, and we need to disconnect the windshield washer fluid lines that go to the reservoir, and we should be good from there. Hey guys, quick update. As of now, we just got to get the ECU out, get all these pins disconnected, get the fuses out, and probably gonna end up taking this whole box out, if anything. If we can figure out how to get it disconnected, but yeah, this wiring looks like a mess. So, hey guys, we're back here. So we're just gonna strip down the front as much as we can. We're gonna want to get this oil cooler off. We're gonna want to get the AC condenser and the radiator off, and this whole thing will come as one assembly with the fan if we just disconnect all the lines. So these are some coolant hoses back there. We got some AC lines going there and some oil lines going to this oil cooler. So as soon as it's disconnected, this whole front end will slide right out. Hey guys, so checking in on you. Before we disconnected the condenser, I had to hook up the AC machine, drain the low and high side, get a nice vacuum in there so it wouldn't go everywhere when I disconnected them. Yeah, we gotta get right there off. Oh, she's done. So I'm gonna hit quit. So she's all drained. There's also a heat sink. I don't know if you can see it right back there. The power steering oil, which is these two. They have a little connector. You gotta right here. You gotta push this plastic piece in and then pull it out when that's in. You pull it right out and she'll come out. Yeah, once that's disconnected, just make sure all the lines are disconnected and the front end shall slide right off. Oh, and this mechanism. We unhooked it from right here. This is for the hinge. You could take the piece off completely, or it was easier to just unhook it from there. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Hey guys, quick tip. If you guys have any used old spark plugs laying around, they work perfectly as plugs for oil lines, anything that's the right diameter, but you just stick it in right there. I'm gonna use it for right there to stop this power steering oil from leaking all the way down. But yeah, I didn't drain the reservoir, so it's just pouring out. I'm gonna use a spark plug to plug it out and it'll work perfect. Okay, so we got the front end completely off. These two are a pain to get off, specifically this one, especially if they've been through several heat cycles. They expand, contract, they get really stuck on there, and you gotta be careful because if you jam them too hard, you'll break it because it's fucking BMW plastic. But yeah, we got the oil to water transmission. So originally this did look like a power steering cooler, but after further investigation, those lines go to the transmission, so it's definitely a transmission cooler. Speculating, and about a year ago, this thing had a tensioner failure, ripped up the belt, shredded everything everywhere.
Sen nasıl görüştün ki onlarla?
We speculated that all these little cotton fibers or whatever is from the belt, when this belt broke last year, it made their way behind this timing cover. It got into the timing chain. From there, it can get into your oil pickup and clog your oil pump. And from there, that would lead to starvation, which is probably the cause for failure. And this with another update. So we're getting at the wiring right now. I want to disconnect this high pressure fuel pump line right there. And then there's another Torx bolt right under there holding it in. We're gonna pull this line out. We got all this wiring out the way. This goes to the ECU, a couple knock sensors plug into here, and another line all the way back to the transmission, the automatic. We won't be using that, so we're gonna probably leave that one transmission power line disconnected. But yeah, that's what your high pressure fuel pump looks like. We tried to get the alternator off, but realized there's really no point. You're probably going to want to take the throttle body off to get a little bit better access down there, because there's a lot of hoses and switches that you want to disconnect. Hey guys, just wanted to show you what a bad valve cover gasket looks like. So there's tons of oil down here. Like you can see it's even inside these. The holes where the coils and the spark plugs go, the spark plugs are drowning in oil right now. So yeah, that's what a bad valve cover would look like. Just soaking oil everywhere along those injectors and those coils. Hey guys, so we're here. So for this manual swap, we're gonna wanna get this console out. So this first top trim piece is all clip-ons. You can get a plastic pry tool, clip it off. Watch out for this, there's a little connection right at the back for the gear shifter and the automatic. So in order to get this piece off, there's 2 bolts here, one here, one on the other side, 10 millimeter, and we're gonna want to get this back section off. And to do that, you're gonna want to take the back seats out. There's 2 10 millimeter bolts in that console right there, and then there's 2 more bolts here, and this thing will come off as one assembly. It's pretty tight back there, guys, but yeah, we gotta get this thing stripped. So we'll see you soon. We're back. So fuck, Dude Joe's car is a mess, but yeah, so when
everybody saying chill, so you know your work, but I'm
you get this console off there, there's gonna be 2 10 millimeter bolts right there and there. You get those off, this thing will slide right off if you already have those 2 front ones up. And yeah, that's pretty much the process of taking the console off. Pretty easy. But yeah, this is what the console will look like when it's out. We gotta get that shifter disconnected, get the brackets out, open up this middle section so we can install the main. Back here, we got the automatic shifter out, so there's 3 Torx bolts right there, and there, and once that's disconnected, these wiring pins should already be disconnected. And if you have the transmission shifter cable disconnected from the bottom, the linkage, she'll slide right through. So we already have the assembly. We have this already disconnected from the trans, so she came right out. Hey guys, so this is where the automatic shifter would connect. We got all that disconnected. All these wires going in the transmission. This main one back here, going to the ECU. She's ready to come out, boys. Alright guys, she's ready. Me and Riza are about to pull her out. Hey guys, forgot to mention one more thing before we take her out. Transmission cross member, you want to get 2 of those bolts off and loose. And then there's 3 subframe bolts, on each side. We're here and she's finally out, and boy does she look good. VRSF downpipes, catless downpipes that Dude Joe previously installed here. Damn man, everything looks real nice. Except that bad valve cover gasket, guys. We're gonna take a look at that. She's soaking oil everywhere down there. You can see maybe that might be an exhaust gasket leak, but I can see some residue right up here. Definitely signs of a bad valve cover gasket. So hopefully the new engine's good and sealed up. If not, we're gonna throw a new gasket on her. You can see a little bit of leakage right there too. Man, these stock twins, man. With 140 clicks, guys, you guys want to get those replaced because shaft play is not looking too good, especially after stage 2 MHD. A lot of stress been put on those. But yeah, here's the automatic tranny. And we got the GS653 right here. It's a 2012 off a IS. But yeah, this is gonna be good, guys. Twin disc, single, the whole 9 yards. Dude Joe didn't spare no expenses. We're gonna get her all cleaned up and ready. Alright guys, so we got the engine disconnected from the subframe. The 2 engine mounts there. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but sorry if there's a lot of things I missed, guys. I couldn't cover everything. It's really hard to do an in-depth tutorial on how to pull out a N54, but I tried my best, guys. We'll be going to that transmission very shortly. So after taking the subframe out and doing some inspection, this engine mount that's very close to the exhaust got some heat soak, and as you can see the bushing is completely worn out and that thing's wiggling around. So we're gonna throw a new passenger side engine mount on it. This one's solid. When we came to the power steering, we saw that it was covered in power steering oil, which was leaking from this high pressure line right there at the top. So we're gonna change those 2 washers. We're gonna get a new line in right here because it's a little bit rusted and dirty. And we also have a tear in our tie rod CV boot. So we're gonna get a new boot on there. And we're gonna throw this thing back in. So We'll get you guys see, guys. So we're gonna start stripping her now. First thing I did was get these 4 oxygen sensors out. It's gonna be a 22 millimeter, or you can get the O2 sensor sockets. These are just in a pretty hard to reach spot, so I just got the wrench. It was a lot easier. So the first thing after these is get these turbos off. So get those coolant lines disconnected, get the oil lines disconnected, get the wastegates disconnected, and we'll pull her right out. So we'll get back to you soon when the manifold. Okay guys, so we're back with a quick update. We got the turbos off. Man, were they a pain in the ass to get off. These oil coolant fittings are a pain to get out, especially if they're... Good thing we're deleting this shit. Say we're coming in here, but yeah. She doesn't look half bad. Alright guys, so we got this automatic flywheel off, and anytime you pull out an engine, you're always going to want to replace the front and the rear main seals. So you can already see that this one's leaking a little bit.
Focus. Okay, what's going on, guys? We're here at the shop. Got the BMW up on the hoist. So there's the old engine, guys, and the transmission.
Have you seen the shop?
Here's the downpipes.
It's tile.
Yeah,
Here's the Beamer, guys. No engine. No tranny. No exhaust. There's inside the Beamer. Here's the new engine, guys. Prepping it. Got the stock turbos off it. There's the stock ones. Getting everything off, gonna get new gaskets and everything.